Welcome to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience reigns and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. I'm Gina, your guide on this empowering journey. With a mission to help women overcome trauma, I'm here to inspire you to cultivate a positive mindset, embrace self-love, and find peace. Join me as we celebrate strength, reclaim power, and triumph over adversity together. Welcome, beautiful one. Today, I want to speak straight to the hearts that have been carrying heavy shadows for far too long. To the women who've endured the storms, the heartbreak, the trauma that shook them to their core, and still woke up to face the day. I want you to know this: you are not broken. You are not defined by what happened to you. Sometimes healing asks us to walk into the very places we've spent years avoiding. It's scary, it's messy, but it's also where the light lives. The kind of light that transforms you from the inside out. When we find the courage to face our shadows instead of running from them, we take back our power piece by piece. We start owning our truth instead of hiding it. We begin to realize that our scars aren't signs of weakness. They are proof of our strength, our resilience, and our survival. I want you to imagine this moment as a soft embrace, the kind that melts away the weight you've been carrying. You are safe here. You are understood here. And most importantly, you are not alone here. Because facing the shadows isn't about getting stuck in the past. It's about reclaiming your voice, your worth, and your future. It's about choosing you over and over again until you become unapologetically authentic and free. So, if you've been waiting for permission to heal, consider this your sign. The courage you need already lives inside of you. Today, let's step into the discomfort together, knowing it will lead to growth, peace, and a life that finally feels like yours. Let's begin. Picture this. You're standing in a dimly lit room with heavy, unwashed windows. Dust floats in the air, thick and unmoving, and the walls are covered in old photographs of who you used to be. Moments where you felt powerless, rejected, and not enough. In this room, time doesn't move. It's comfortable only because it's familiar, but everything feels heavy, stagnant, suffocating. This is what life looks like when we keep avoiding our shadows, when we stuff down the pain and try to outrun the past. The same arguments keep happening. The same relationships keep breaking. The same self-doubt keeps whispering ugly lies in your ear, and you start to think maybe this is just who you are. But here's the truth. It's not who you are. Now imagine opening the window in that room. Light floods in, dust scatters, and you take a breath so deep your whole chest feels alive again. Facing your fears, owning your story, embracing your truth. It feels like sunlight on skin that's been cold for far too long. The weight drops. The old photographs stay in the past where they belong. You feel new air in your lungs, new strength in your bones, and a quiet knowing, I made it through, and I'm free. But to get to that sunlight, we have to understand the shadows. Our shadow selves have three big players: projections, triggers, and patterns. Projections are when we throw our pain onto someone else because we can't face it in ourselves. For example, if you feel unworthy, you might accuse others of not valuing you enough when really you haven't learned to value yourself. It's like wearing glasses smudged with old paint. Everything you see looks distorted. Triggers are those lightning bolts of emotion that seem to come out of nowhere. Someone says something, looks at you a certain way, or a smell brings you back to a memory and suddenly you're furious or terrified. Triggers show us where our old wounds still live. Patterns are the repetitive loops we can't seem to break. Choosing the same type of toxic partner, staying in jobs where we feel unseen, constantly saying yes when our soul is screaming no. Patterns reveal the stories we keep telling ourselves about what we deserve. When we ignore these parts of our shadow, they don't disappear, they grow. They stick to us like an old peeling sticker that's been rained on and walked all over. Harder to scrape off the longer it stays. We start to believe the pain is us, that our trauma somehow defines us. But here's the hard and beautiful truth. Growth doesn't happen in the warm blanket of comfort. It happens in the messy, shaky, uncomfortable moments when we finally stop running, when we sit in the pain long enough to hear what it has to teach us. Something shifts. Perspective cracks open like a window. The way you once saw that moment in your life changes. The shame starts to loosen, and power, real, deep, unshakable power, begins to grow where the pain once lived. Because the truth of you, it lives in the moments of stillness when you're alone with yourself, when you can look at every scar and every shadow and say, yes, this happened, but it is not the end of me. And that right there is the courage to heal. The courage to heal unfolds in each of us differently. While some of our paths may seem similar, the majority of them are not. We choose to heal differently based on what we need the most and let go of things and people that we once thought that we wanted. You have the ability to heal in the ways that speak beautifully and clearly to your heart because you know deep down that this is the way home, even when others do not agree with it. Let's talk about 5 simple and clear steps to help you face your shadows and begin to own your truth. Step number 1, acknowledge without judgment. Start by giving yourself permission to simply see your pain without labeling it as weakness or failure. Trauma often trains us to shove things down, to wear the I'm fine mask. Instead, take a quiet moment, maybe with a journal, maybe in meditation, and whisper to yourself, this happened, this hurt, and I am allowed to feel it. Acknowledge is the first crack where the light seeps in. Step number 2, get curious about the shadows. Instead of running from the memories, the triggers, the emotions, get curious about them. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? What wound is asking to be healed? Curiosity is different from judgment. It's soft, compassionate, and opens the door to understanding your patterns instead of shaming yourself for having them. Step number 3, speak your truth, even if it trembles. Healing begins when silence ends. That might mean journaling alone until you feel comfortable enough to talk about what has happened, talking to a trusted friend, writing an unsent letter, working with a therapist or coach, or joining a support group. Trauma feeds on secrecy. Courage grows in the open air. Speak your story, even if your voice shakes, because telling the truth is how we loosen shame's grip on our lives. Step number 4, release what isn't yours to carry. This is the big one, the step that feels like standing on the edge of a cliff before learning to fly. Many of us carry guilt, blame, or responsibility that doesn't belong to us. Through forgiveness, not of the harm done, but for your own freedom, you start cutting the cords to what's been weighing you down. Release doesn't mean you condone what happened. It means you refuse to let it control your future. Step number 5. Rewrite the story and live forward. Once the shadows have been faced, you get to rewrite the narrative. You are no longer just the woman who endured. You are the woman who rose, who learned, and who grew. Start creating small daily practices that reflect the life you want. Affirmations of worth, moments of stillness, gratitude rituals, acts of self-compassion. This is how you build the bridge from surviving to truly thriving. I know the road isn't always easy. Healing rarely is. But here's the beauty. You don't have to walk it alone. That's why I created Finding Direction from Within, a course designed to guide you step by step through this exact process. Whether you want to move at your own pace with a do-it-yourself version or work with me directly for deeper support, this is your space to learn, heal, and rebuild on a foundation of love and self-trust. So, if you're ready to stop circling the same pain and finally step into the life you've been craving, head to www.bodyelementsmindelevation.com and take a look. This might just be the moment you look back on and realize it was the beginning of everything changing. As we close today, I want you to hold on to this truth. Facing your shadows doesn't make you weak. It makes you a warrior of your own story. Every time you choose to acknowledge your pain, get curious instead of critical, speak your truth, release what isn't yours, and rewrite the narrative, you are choosing you. You are choosing freedom, healing, and a future that no longer bows to the weight of the past. As always, thank you for being here with me today. Wherever you are, have a wonderful day, and may you have the courage to face your shadows, the ability to create power from your pain, and the quiet strength that reminds you that you are more than enough and capable of creating the life you have always desired. This is Gina, signing off. Thank you for tuning in to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience prevails and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. Keep embracing your strength, cultivating resilience, and shining your light bright. You are capable of triumphing over any challenge life throws your way. Until next time, keep rising and thriving. You've got this.